Well, hello saddle hunters. I just wanted to do a quick video to kind of update a video that I did about a year ago on tethers. I went over some of the most common tethers that were on the market at the time, but in the past year there has been a rope that people are using for both tethers and lineman's belts that's kind of taken the saddle hunting community by storm, and in my opinion has cemented itself as far and away the best choice for both a tether and a lineman's belt. And that is the Sterling Oplux rope. This rope is 8 millimeters, so significantly thinner and lighter than most other tethers that are on the market, most of which are somewhere between 11 and 13 millimeters or half an inch, somewhere around there. I'm going to compare the Sterling Oplux to the spliced rope that you can get from Tethrd here in just a minute. But I want to show you right here, I have a lineman's belt and a tether set up with Sterling Oplux. One of the things you'll notice about Sterling Oplux is it's very malleable. It's just flexible and you can take it and it compacts down into nothing. You're going to have no problems fitting both your tether and your lineman's belt loop into one pouch with room to spare. A couple of places that you can get this. I have the version that's sold by Wild Edge. It comes with a factory spliced eye. I found that to be way simpler when putting my tether around the tree. It doesn't slip down as opposed to a knot, which I've had problems with knotted tethers slipping down the tree. But you can buy the rope from Eastern Woods Outdoors by the foot and tie your own tether if you'd rather go that route and save a little bit of money. To get started here, I want to give a quick weight of these two compared to what I was using, which was the Tethrd lineman belt and the Tethrd tether. So down here in a cinch pack, I've got the Tethrd ropes, and I'm just going to throw those on the scale here and get a quick weight. So this is the Tethrd tether and the Tethrd lineman belt. One of them is set up with a prusik knot and a carabiner, and the other one is set up with a Ropeman 1 and a carabiner. So those two ropes weigh 1 pound 15 ounces. 1 pound 15 ounces. So almost 2 pounds for those ropes. Now we're going to compare the Sterling Oplux. This is set up the same way. It has a Kong Duck, we're going to talk about that in just a minute, with a carabiner on one, and then the other is just a prusik knot and a carabiner. So we'll throw those in the same bag so we can compare apples to apples here. We went from 1 pound 15 ounces to 1 pound 2 ounces. So we shed 13 ounces, 3/4 of a pound, just by switching ropes. Now I'm going to bring the camera over here and zoom in and show you a side-by-side comparison of these two ropes, just so you can get an idea of how thin the Oplux is compared to other ropes that are on the market. Okay, so here we've got the two ropes side by side. This is the lineman belt from Tethrd, 2-inch spliced eye, and this is the Sterling Oplux rope from Wild Edge. I think it has a 5 or a 6-inch sewn eye. So right there, just let's compare these two side by side. You can see that the Tethrd rope, because it's spliced, is significantly thicker. Now, if we just look at the body of the ropes, and I'll try to hold these up for you, you can see just how much thinner that 8 millimeter rope is compared to, I think this is a 1/2 inch rope from Tethrd. We'll come down here all the way away from the splice. Significantly thinner. Now, if we take the two and just kind of wad them up as you would if they were in a tether, you can see that Oplux gets significantly more compact than the Tethrd rope. Let me also show you because of the diameter of the Sterling Oplux being 8 millimeters, you cannot use everybody's go-to favorite, the Ropeman 1. The Ropeman 1 is rated for 10 to 13 millimeter ropes, and so you have to use a Kong Duck, which is rated between 8.1 and 13 millimeters, I believe, or 8 millimeters and 13 millimeters. The Kong is a little bit bigger than the Ropeman. You can kind of see those side by side there. They work on a similar principle, but the Kong's a little bit bigger. I have found that I have to use an oval carabiner. This is a black diamond. I bought it for $10 on Amazon. Already came completely black, which was nice. I wrapped it in vet tape just to quiet it down a little bit because it rides inside this ring that you can see there. But it's very, very quiet doing it that route. The Ropeman one, because it rests against the rope and cinches down against the rope, I never found that it made a whole lot of noise, you know, inside the device there, so I never changed it out. But that's something to keep in mind. So there's a comparison of the two side by side. Significantly thinner. Also, I would say it's more malleable, so you can get it more compact also. The other thing I wanted to point out to wrap the video up here related to the Stirling Aplex, and I'll put these two down and grab my tether, is that when you're using a prusik knot or a distal hitch, something like that, you have to make sure to get a cord, an accessory cord that is between 5.5 and 6 millimeters so that it'll cinch down correctly on this 8mm rope. If you go too big, it'll slip and won't work right. So I suggest buying a 5.5 or 6 millimeter. You can get those from Eastern Woods Outdoors. I picked up this 3 or 4 foot section. I think it's a 4 foot section, to be honest with you. You could get by with 3 and have room to spare just to tie a simple prusik or distal hitch. And then I have a tender there for one-handed operation. I also got that from Eastern Woods Outdoors, and it works very, very well. There's some videos on YouTube about how to use those. But just want to highly recommend Sterling Aplex to all of you guys. It is fantastic. I found it to be pretty abrasion resistant, packs up so small and compact, and just between those two ropes you said 3/4 pound, so who doesn't like that? Anyway, hope you liked the video, hope it was helpful. Go out and buy it. It's been one of the best purchases that I've made in my saddle hunting career.